Well, it's been a while and we're back with the Wedding Bells Summon Showcase, which is going to be running from June the 20th until the 30th of June UTC. I didn't actually realise that Wedding Bells was a pun until I said it out loud a bit ago, but hey, maybe you're smarter than I am. So let's get straight to it. Our first unit is the 5-star Wind Sword, Wedding Elisanne. Wedding Elisanne's first skill is Sacred Union, a quick cone attack in front of Elisanne. It also leaves a rectangular zone that regenerates hit points for 10 seconds. Elisanne's second skill, Wedding Bell, deals wind damage to enemies ahead and also creates a circular zone for 10 seconds that debuffs enemies inside the zone by 15%. Being a sword unit, Wedding Elisanne gives you the Dragon Haste co-ability. In terms of other abilities, she has Skill Haste 8%, Bog Resist, and a Strength double buff of 13%. Currently, the Blue simulation, DPS simulator suggests that Elisanne will contribute a lot to the team, even more than the other two wind swords we have at the moment. The defense debuff of 15% is a pretty significant debuff, but it also depends on whether or not you can get the enemy to stay within the circle. The new zone-based mechanic is pretty interesting, and it also fits Elisanne's support role. The skill is really fast, and she should feel pretty good to play. Overall, I think that the circular debuff is probably the biggest contributor towards the team's DPS, but depending on the enemies that you're using that skill on, you might not be able to get them to stay in the circle reliably unless you use it at the right time. Our next unit this banner is the 5-star Wind Dagger Wedding Aoi. Her first skill, Ninja Bride Sweep, deals wind damage to enemies ahead and also draws enemies towards Aoi. It also inflicts sleep. Her second skill, Ninja Bride Sun Shower, deals wind damage to enemies ahead and also heals all allies. It deals extra damage to sleeping foes, but exactly how much I'm not entirely sure, as the wiki doesn't have the numbers and I don't really want to start data mining just yet. Unfortunately, from the video, it seems that Ninja Bride Sun Shower has quite a bit of end lag. Being a dagger unit, Wedding Aoi has crit rate as a co-ability, and in terms of other abilities, Aoi grants the whole team strength plus 15% whenever she inflicts sleep. She has freeze resist, and also striking haste, filling her skill gauges by 12% when her force strikes connect. Aoi is now our first natural 5-star Wind Dagger. She deals marginally more damage than other Wind Daggers in the simulations if she can inflict sleep. However, if the enemy is not vulnerable to sleep, then the simulations favour both Sufang and Francesca over Aoi. And then our third adventure added in this banner is the Wind Staff Wedding Xania. Her first skill, Dream Wedding, gives a heal, a regen, and also freeze relief. That's lots of utility in a skill 1. Skill 2, Love's Protection, grants a defense buff and more regen. Being a staff unit, Xania has the healing co-ability. In terms of other abilities, she has full HP, grants her healing plus 15%, she has freeze resist, and also 50% skill prep. Having freeze resist points Xania towards Water Io and Void Poseidon, so that points her towards content that's not overall too challenging. However, granting a lot of regen with both of her heals means that as long as the rest of your team isn't taking lots of damage in a short period of time, then she's a pretty decent healer. The 5-star dragon added in this showcase is the 5-star Wind Dragon Freyja. Freyja grants an extra 30% hit points and also gives 35% skill haste at maximum unbind. Freyja's skill, Breath of Life, restores HP, grants a regen, and also fully energizes the whole team. Overall, I think Freyja is a much better dragon for healers than Garuda. Even though Garuda grants more raw HP through her ability, the skill haste should allow a healer to actually heal more. Another thing to keep in mind is that now we have a hit point granting dragon with a healing skill. I always find Garuda was a bit strange, having only giving HP but also having a damaging skill. There wasn't really much synergy there, but Freyja is different. Although not part of the showcase, the Wyrmprints added in this patch are the 5-star Wyrmprint, the Bridal Dragon, and 4-star print Halidom Grooms. The Bridal Dragon gives 10% dragon damage and 10% shapeshift prep, and Halidom Grooms grants energy double buff and buff time 20%. Bridal Dragon I think is a nice sort of print that can sort of replace King's Countenance for your dragon, shapeshift prep print. because the curse resist on King's Countenance always went a bit to waste if you're using it in content that didn't actually inflict curse. The 4-star print Halidom Grooms, since it has the buff time 20%, it means that we now have more than one Wyrmprint granting extra buff time. This means that anyone that uses an adventurer that grants buff as their helper can actually stack 2 buff time prints to reach the 30% cap. In terms of order content that's right up on this banner, we have the 4-star healer Lowen and the 4-star wind dragon that grants HP Strybog. Overall, I think the 3 adventurers and dragon added in this banner are very interesting, and I probably would pull for them, but you have to keep in mind that this banner is not a limited banner. If you visit the news post on the Dragalia Lost website, that it actually states in red text that this is not a limited showcase, and all of these units are being added to the permanent pool. And since these units are being added to the permanent pool, then my advice is to actually be patient and do not drop all of your resources on this banner. However, being 3 bridal units, I'm sure most people have already, well, if they wanted to, have already blown most of their reserves trying to get the units they want. However, the more pragmatic of you will probably benefit from waiting until the eventual, I suspect, limited banner coming up. So my advice as always is to sort of hold on to your resources, unless you really need stronger wind units. In the end, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you luck in your upcoming pulls.